Hey, my people, did you see President Mahama's UN speech? Hey, this man, aren't you proud to have that man as a president? I mean, yeah, let's put politics aside.
Guys, at this point, I want to beg Ghanaians, please, we need President John Dramani Mahama in Nigeria. Nigerians are now lamenting, in fact, they now wishes that Ghana is Nigeria, and they wish the president of Ghana is the president of Nigeria. Recently, the president of Ghana represented Nigeria, represented Ghana, in fact, represented Africa. Hey, when you hear the speech of John Dramani Mahama, in fact, Nigerians were actually surprised. I'm going to be playing the video here. Please watch this video, like the video, share the video, and subscribe.
His deliveries when it comes to speeches is unmatched. And to add a plus to it, his newfound audacity. How long did it take an African president to have these guts to tell the Western world what it is as it is, without fear or favor, at the National Assembly, or what we call the United Nations Assembly? This is what Mahama told them. You cannot stop us.
We cannot normalize cruelty. We cannot normalize hatred. We cannot normalize xenophobia and racism. If we're going to tell a story, let's not tell it slant. Let's tell all the truth. When we speak of migrants, we speak of Mami Ewusi Mensah Frimpong, a judge on the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. She's the first black female judge on any of California's 4 federal district courts. She was born here in America to immigrant parents from Ghana. We speak of Peter Bosman, a medical doctor in Ghana who moved to the town of Piran in Slovenia in the 1980s and later became the first black mayor of Piran, the first black mayor in Slovenia and in the whole of Eastern Europe. We speak of T. Michael, the iconic Ghanaian Norwegian artist and designer. And of course, we speak of the late Kofi Annan, former United Nations Secretary General.
Hey, my people, did you see President Mahama's UN speech? Hey, this man, aren't you proud to have that man as a president? I mean, yeah, let's put politics aside. But like, this is a man that you are so proud for him to represent you. And yeah, oh, look at Ali, the ideas, the topics. Aren't you proud? Aren't you proud to have such a president? Like, if you look at the other president, the Senegalese president, apparently he went to disgrace himself, but some countries cried it. His picture they are sending because their president is not strong enough to go. But Ghana, look at how our president went. Vadoko Komira. A blutoba beme ni monyamfo. Like Kenya popom awi batakali yodonga. Ala chama yaji lama. And then he was so gracious and he was so confident. Some people were arguing, but he was reading using teleprompter. But even even when you are reading from a script or even a teleprompter, if you know what you are talking about and you know what you are saying, the confidence is there. Because there are people we see they are reading and they are struggling to even read. But this man, so confident, knows his point, knows what he's saying, was able to connect with his audience. Hey, aren't you proud to have such a man as a president? That's for me, I'm proud though. I'm so proud. Mahama, please go take them, okay? Please don't come for me.
Guys, this week we have been following some of our presidents at the United Nations General Assembly to know how they are doing, to see how they are representing us. So take a listen to what the president of Ghana did. Listen to his speech and let us know what you think about what he said. To me, I think he did well because he touched aspects of Ghana. He also talked about aspects of Africa, especially the Security Council, that we do not have a permanent seat there yet. And he also talked about the situation of world politics and world situation. To me, that was amazing, and kudos to the president of Ghana. Take a listen and let me know what you think in the comment section.
First sentence in Chapter 2, Article 1 of the UN Charter declares that the organization is based on the principle of sovereign equality of all its members. If this were true and was the case, A continent as large as Africa, with its numerous UN member states, would have at least one permanent seat on the Security Council. Furthermore, we believe that veto power should not be restricted to only 5 nations, nor should it be absolute. There must be a mechanism in this House for the General Assembly to challenge a veto. No single nation should be able to exercise an absolute veto to serve its own interests in a dispute. Maybe you are unaware of the resilience of African nations or their remarkable ability to make a strong comeback just when you think it's safe to count them out. That is what is happening right now in my own country, Ghana. Our constitution limits leaders to 2 4-year terms. In January, I was sworn in for a second term, which, let me point out, was non-consecutive with my first term. Our currency, the Ghana cedi, was rapidly depreciating, faced with rising inflation, a huge debt burden, and low morale amongst our citizens. My new administration settled down quickly and embarked on an ambitious program of comprehensive transformation designed to restructure Ghana's economic foundation and enhance our competitive standing globally. We refer to this process of recalibration as our reset agenda. In just 8 months, we have achieved significant reduction in inflation from 23.8% in December 2024 to 11.5% in August 2025, restoring price stability for our citizens. Additionally, our currency, the Ghana cedi, has appreciated considerably against other currencies, with Bloomberg reporting it as the best performing currency in the world at one point. Our improved sovereign credit rating reflects increasing investor confidence in our economy, and our 24-hour economy initiative promises to transform our economy. And there's a renewed willingness amongst our people to trust that their elected officials have Ghana's interests at heart and that we're progressing together. Madam President, I believe that in honor of this milestone celebration, the United Nations should also embark on a process of serious recalibration and establish its own reset agenda. Since the organization's founding, the number of UN member nations has nearly quadrupled. And quite frankly, it is not the same world that it was back then when the UN was formed. I mentioned earlier that I began my second non-consecutive term as president this past January. My first term ended in January 2017. In that span of time, 8 years, the world has changed with such ferocity. My first days in office after my return felt as though I had just awakened from a Rip Van Winkle style sleep. Now note, that was only after 8 years. Imagine then what it will be like after 80 years since the founding of the United Nations. In 1945, the sun had not yet set on the largest empire in history. The most common mode of international travel was by sea. The personal computer had not been invented, let alone made portable. And television, a new convenience, was still in its infancy, albeit in black and white color. Relations between the US and the Soviet Union were turning frosty, with Winston Churchill declaring that an iron curtain has descended across the European continent.
Who do us? Sorry, this is a serious matter. During this week, the president of Ghana and the president of Nigeria, all the world leaders went to UN, United States, for this their meeting. President John Dramani Mahama started. Now the trend since for everybody say, this man spoke well. He spoke about the few times when they give him, he spoke about Ghana, spoke about the world, spoke about things when they worry people. Our own president, go. Tinubu, there the Bulaba, we might be hungry, but we can control our hunger. And the most painful thing be say, it will win 2027. No. I swear to God, Tinubu have already win 2027. Whether God won't just punish Nigeria at the end time. When God talk about maybe this our Nigeria, I don't know. Now he sent invites. The invites where Agbada, not one problem. What would they face to talk about? Not one. Ha! God, I beg. Oh, I don't think just wake up now and say, proud man, you're not from Nigeria, you're from the US. Those things will happen for Nigerian film, not just happen for my life.
If you thought only Mahama delivered powerful speech, you are wrong, my brothers and sisters. Ruto, William Ruto of Kenya, gave some powerful delivery. My goodness. But you know one thing I found in common with almost all the head of states that went to that African head of states there, they said something in common. And the common thing they said was, there is no African state that is in the security class. That means we are still slaves. We are still slaves. And I'm happy that they are bold enough to say it now. But why did we wait this long? The question is, why did we wait this long? We wait. So when it comes to security votes, we don't even know what happens. They only tell us, oh, for peacekeeping, bring your people, and we send our people to go and die. Modern day slavery.
You cannot claim to be the United Nations while disregarding the voice of 54 nations. It is not possible. Africa is no longer willing to wait on the margins of global governance while decisions about peace, security, and development are made without our understanding, without our perspectives, and without our voice. Africa's exclusion is not only unacceptable, unfair, and grossly unjust, it also undermines the very credibility of the United Nations, this organization.
My brother, my sister, it is good to have a very intelligent, well-spoken, in fact, young president. John Dramani Mahama, the president of Ghana, made Africa proud. Even Ruto, the president of Kenya, also spoke excellently well. And what happens to my country, Nigeria? Nowhere to be found. But in all, I'm super proud of the president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. This man spoke words. He spoke intelligently. He spoke to those people. Guys, if you're a Ghanaian, please be proud to be a Ghanaian because you guys are just so blessed. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe.